Chapter 2. Allies by Necessity. The storm hit fast. One moment Caleb was limping through the ruined industrial district, bloodied and low on ammo, trying to regroup with the last scattered remnants of his squad. The next, the sky cracked open with unnatural purple lightning, and a wave of electromagnetic energy slammed into the city. His comms went dead. His rifle fizzled and sparked, useless. Every bit of tech he carried short-circuited in a heartbeat. Caleb swore under his breath, ducking into the shell of a broken warehouse. He wasn't alone. Across the room, framed in the flickering light, stood General Sarix Vorn. For a heartbeat, neither of them moved. Her armor was scorched, her left gauntlet sparking uselessly at her side. Without her weapons, she looked no less dangerous, but more real, almost vulnerable. Caleb tightened his grip on the useless rifle, lifting it like a club. Sarix raised one brow, unimpressed. "You would strike an unarmed opponent?" she asked coolly. He barked a humorless laugh. "You're about as unarmed as a rattlesnake." Sarix tilted her head, studying him. "We are both trapped. Your storm has crippled our systems." "Our storm," Caleb corrected grimly. "And it's not done yet." Another blast shook the ground beneath their feet. The roof of the warehouse groaned ominously. Caleb glanced upward. Dust rained down from the cracked supports. "We need to move," he muttered, instinct overriding distrust. Sarix didn't argue. That worried him more than anything. Together, without speaking, they darted deeper into the building. At the rear of the warehouse, they found a stairwell leading underground. The stairwell had partially collapsed, a jagged hole yawning into darkness, but it would have to do. Caleb hesitated at the top. He looked back. Sarix was watching him with those unreadable violet eyes. There was no fear there, only the steady, calculating patience of a hunter. He wondered, fleetingly, if she was planning to kill him once they were out of the storm. "You can't trust her," his brain screamed. "You can't afford not to," his gut answered. Grimacing, Caleb descended into the dark, Sarix following soundlessly behind. They found a half-intact storage room deep underground. The walls were cracked but held. The old emergency lights flickered on, casting the space in dim amber glow. Caleb dropped to the ground, leaning back against a support beam with a groan. Sarix remained standing, arms crossed, surveying the room with disdain. They sat in silence for long minutes. The only sound was the distant rumble of the storm above them, and their breathing. Finally, Sarix spoke. "You fought well today," she said, her voice grudging. Caleb blinked at her. Was that a compliment? "You can't trust her," his brain screamed. "You can't afford not to," his gut answered. Grimacing, Caleb descended into the dark, Sarix following soundlessly behind. They found a half-intact storage room deep underground. The walls were cracked but held. A faint smile tugged at the corner of her mouth, there and gone in a second. "Merely an observation," he chuckled dryly. "Thanks, Princess." Her eyes narrowed at the title. "Do not call me that." "Why not? Isn't that what you are?" Caleb said, stretching out his aching legs. "Some high-born Rivelin royal leading armies into slaughter." Sarix's jaw tightened. For the first time, Caleb saw something crack through her perfect composure. "Titles mean nothing on the battlefield," she said sharply. "Bloodline does not shield one from death or duty." Her voice was bitter, too bitter for someone who supposedly gloried in conquest. Caleb tilted his head, studying her in the flickering light. Maybe, just maybe, she wasn't the monster he'd been taught to hate. He leaned his head back against the beam, closing his eyes. "Well," he muttered, "for what it's worth you fight like hell." Another long silence. Then, so soft he almost didn't catch it, she replied, "As do you." Hours passed. The storm above raged on, shaking the very bones of the city. Caleb drifted in and out of light sleep, always half aware of her presence across the room. At one point, he woke to find Sarix closer, sitting against the opposite wall, her knees drawn up, her head resting back. She wasn't watching him. She looked tired, lonely. For reasons he couldn't explain, his chest tightened at the sight. Maybe he was going crazy, or maybe the world was changing faster than he could keep up. Either way, one thing was certain: the war wasn't just about survival anymore. It was about who, and what, he was willing to fight for. And he had a sinking feeling that the answer was sitting right across from him, wrapped in black and gold armor, with fire in her blood, and sorrow in her eyes.
Would you like me to continue straight into Chapter 3 now? In Chapter 3, I can make things even more intense, like they have to physically rely on each other to survive, maybe even save each other's lives, which pulls them closer without either of them admitting it yet. Would you like that?